Thank you, President Van Sant, for that very generous introduction. To the faculty, the board, parents, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2011. Congratulations. I'm truly impressed, and I'm not just speaking about the honorary degree recipients behind me, brilliant as they are. Any other day, they would have my undivided attention. And I mean them no disrespect, but today, my eyes are solely on you, my fellow graduates. I've seen you in classes, on campus, at parties and protests, in print and on screen. The amount of human capital in this room is truly astonishing. I know what you're thinking. This guy talks a good game. Tall, dark, handsome, not to be trusted. And to that I say, you've got a good eye, and you're probably right. But what you can't see is that I'm completely crazy. Nuts. Now, I don't mean crazy in that climate change doesn't exist sort of way, or crazy in that let's deny equal rights to same-sex partners sort of way. That would be insane. No, I'm talking about that special I'm talking about that special brand of crazy, the kind that makes you think that you can do and be things bigger than you are. Fortunately, I see that I'm not alone. Clearly, the only place where a crazy and overly ambitious radical can thrive is the New School. This university was founded on a whim. A group of friends got together in 1918 and decided to experiment with a new form of education. They created a school where people could learn freely and uncensored. And almost a century later, this university still manages to evolve, to stay new and current. It's a place where people come to enact change, to change the things that make them crazy. Now, I'm crazy about food. For me, all things involve food. I want to overhaul our defunct and dangerous global food system. It's currently a system that perpetuates malnutrition, obesity, pollution, climate change, inequality, discrimination, and greed. Right now, half the world is obese, and yet the other half is starving. The population is growing, yet soil fertility and productivity are declining. Organic farming, the norm for thousands of years, is now seen as an elite lifestyle choice. Food prices are rising all over the world, inciting conflict and violence. Now, these are all things that can be fixed, but not without a fight. My obsession with food started as a young kid. I was a fat kid that loved food. Now, after losing over 200 pounds, I'm still a fat kid that loves food. My desire to change the food system started in a small classroom in the Bronx. I realized that even if my students wanted to eat better, which they usually didn't, they wouldn't be able to without better access. Working in Ethiopia, I had the chance to see what true hunger looks like. I saw how food can bring people together and can also tear them apart. I saw how resilient people can be and how powerful and dangerous one small idea can be. I wanted an education that would teach me how to take those small ideas and turn it into a revolution. That's why I came to Milano GPIA. And that's why I'm here at the New School, drafting all of you in my fight to change the way the world eats. I see that everybody saw my Facebook post about wearing long robes and ridiculous hats if you want to join me in my revolution. I'm glad there's so many of us. And frankly, I'm touched by the solidarity. So at our first official meeting, I'm going to outline the rules of my revolution. Don't worry, there's only two. The first rule is that you have to talk. Talk before, during, and after every meal. Talk about where your food came from, how it got to you, and who's responsible. Talk about the farmers responsible for getting the food to you. Fortunately, I know this is something that you already do indirectly. When you talk about poverty, injustice, and death, you're talking about food. When you talk about design, innovation, community engagement, and art, you're talking about food. If you care about fossil fuel consumption, greenhouse gas emissions, water use, pollution, start with food. The second rule is that you have to think about at least one other person every time you eat. It can be the person you're eating with, the person who cooked, or someone you wish was at the table. You can think about the farmers who were benefited or harmed by your choices. You can think about the people that will be affected or inspired by the lifestyle choices that your meal represents. Hell, think about me. Bottom line, what you must not forget is that food connects us to the earth, to our mortality, and ultimately to each other. So if you remember nothing else from this little rant, other than my overuse of the word food, please hold on to two very important facts. One, you are what you eat. And two, you're graduating from the new school. So, to my first point, as you all go out for your celebratory dinners tonight, and for every meal thereafter, you need to ask yourself who you want to be. Are you a dinner that was born from fossil fuels, perpetuates social injustice, and threatens future generations? Or are you a dinner that supports local economies, contributes to environmental security, and promotes equality? This is not about guilt or obligation. It's about pride and appreciation. By simply changing the way we eat, we can improve the quality of life for people in our communities, both locally and globally. It's not too late to change the menu. To my second point, you're graduating from the new school. While there are currently students graduating all over the world, none have the distinct honor of being us. Wear that new school badge of crazy with pride, because it will follow you wherever you go. Look around and realize that the people in this room will be responsible for not only how the future looks, but more importantly, how people see it. We are designers, architects, scientists, researchers, advocates, and educators. We are analysts, artists, development workers, statisticians, and politicians. We are writers, actors, musicians, filmmakers, and dancers. We are radicals. We are agents of change. We are the 2011 graduating class of the New School. I can assure you, the world is not ready for us. But that's okay, because we are ready. Thank you.